Although the steering linkage used on a rack and pinion design is uncomplicated, cars that have rack and pinion steering are by no means immune to loose steering and vehicle wander.
These symptoms typically result when the rack bushings become worn, since this will allow the rack to move back and forth. Worn rack bushings also cause a condition known as bump steer, which can cause the steering wheel to be jerked out of the driver's hands. Bump steer results from changes in wheel toe that occur when a tire hits a bump in the road. Worn inner tie rods are another common source of loose steering and vehicle wander on a rack and pinion system. Loose end-mounted inner tie rods result from worn ball and socket joints, while loose center-mounted inner tie rods are caused by worn bushings where the tie rods attach to the rack.
When it comes to leakage, there are several conditions to watch out for.
Low fluid level with no signs of external leakage means that either the inner rack seal, lower pinion seal, or the bulkhead seal has failed. Be aware that a failure of any of these components can cause fluid to leak into the bellows boot and be transferred to the opposite boot by way of the breather tube. Fluid leaking from the top of the valve bore is a sign that the stub shaft seal is defective. Perhaps the most familiar problem associated with power rack and pinion steering gears is a condition known as morning sickness. The symptoms of this condition include hard steering and binding when the engine is cold. Morning sickness results from an internal hydraulic leak caused by grooves worn into the aluminum bore by the spool valve seal rings. The most practical remedy for this condition is to replace the rack assembly with a new or remanufactured unit.